Good morning. It's great to see a packed room coming together committed to the right cause. It's fantastic for me to be here, and I want to thank the Chamber and Suzanne for all the work that you're doing and for having me this morning. I want to recognize the Prime Minister, with whom I met yesterday, and the Ambassador. Thank you. I think I can speak for everybody in this room and everybody in America that we are in awe of your courage, your resilience, your brilliance, and your commitment. So thank you for all that you're doing. In the 14 months since Russia launched its full-scale invasion, the United States and all of my colleagues have worked on numerous fronts to support Ukraine, from, in our case, an unprecedented set of international export controls, which I spoke with the Prime Minister and Ambassador about just yesterday, which are working to deny Russia access to semiconductors and spare parts and other equipment they need to conduct this war, to providing military equipment that bolsters Ukraine's defense, and direct budgetary support that's helping the Ukrainian people. But the truth of it is critical that we and our partner governments remain steadfast to ensure that Russia's unconscionable, illegal, senseless war and attempt at an expansionist land grab doesn't succeed. We have a responsibility. It's a bipartisan responsibility. It's an American responsibility. The stakes haven't been this high in a long time. We cannot let Russia prevail. And that means we have to be in this today, tomorrow, a year, 2 years, 3 years, because the repercussions to the world, to democracies everywhere, to freedom, are unimaginable if we allow the Kremlin's efforts to destroy Ukraine to succeed. And we at the Commerce Department, and particularly BIS, the Bureau of Industry and Security, will continue to partner with our colleagues in government, with Treasury, State, and other agencies to continue to tighten our restrictions and enforce penalties against those who help Russia obtain restricted goods. We are constantly, quite literally daily, weekly, evaluating what more can we do, who else can we add to the list, what other, we're in constant communications with the Ukrainians of what they see, downed on the ground, so that they get us that information so we can add that to the list. And we're doing that with vigilance and purpose and urgency every day. But as I said earlier, and as President Biden has said, we're in this for the long run. Yes, we work today, but we are committed to the future. As the President said when he was with President Zelensky, we're going to be with you for as long as it takes. For as long as it takes. And that includes reconstruction, which will be years and a decade in the making, and that's, of course, what we're here to talk about today. And we know the price tag is high, and the country is being pummeled every day. The World Bank says reconstruction and recovery, the price tag has grown to over $400 billion, and that will continue to grow. And here's the reality, and you know this, government can't do it alone. We will do our part. President Biden and our team are utterly committed, but we need you. This has to be a public-private partnership if we're going to get this done. Now, here's the good news. I talk to CEOs every day, from the big companies to the small companies across industry. They want to help. You're all here today. You want to help. The Chamber is showing extraordinary leadership. CEOs say, we want to be there for Ukraine. However, they want answers to questions, right? They want to know which part of reconstruction needs will be prioritized. Who in the Ukrainian government will make decisions about those priorities? How will private capital be paired with government capital and other sources of blended finance? How can they be reassured that they won't be exposed to any sort of corruption? And so that's why we're here today. I hope we begin to get into these questions and start to find answers to these questions, to reassure American businesses that they should do the right thing, which is to support Ukraine and invest in Ukraine, and that they'll be able to be, profitable, safe, and prosperous in the process. So as we look forward to a post-conflict environment in Ukraine, our government and our role in engaging the U.S. private sector is absolutely critical, and my team and I take that very seriously. I want to tell you, for the Department of Commerce's part, our U.S. foreign and commercial service teams are working hard every day to facilitate the sharing of information to ensure private sector efforts reach their intended destinations in Ukraine. And they also look forward to helping connect Ukrainian public agencies with private companies, with private U.S. companies who can offer expertise, technology, and capital across industries: IT, agribusiness, energy, infrastructure, all industries critical to Ukraine's future. Again, I want to thank the Chamber once again for launching its Ukraine Business Initiative. We're excited to work with you, to partner with you, to help you make that successful. The U.S. Chamber, the American Chamber of Commerce based in Kyiv, the U.S. Ukrainian Business Council, and other associations based in the U.S. all have a role to play. Honestly, every American has a role to play. I don't care if you are a private citizen, run a one-person company, a five-person company, or the biggest companies in the United States. Ask yourself the role you can play, because this is a war we must win, now and in the long run. Today, you'll have the pleasure of hearing from my Deputy Secretary of Commerce, Don Graves, who's extremely committed to this. He'll be focused on mobilizing private investment to finance Ukrainians' reconstruction, and he too is committed to this being a many years process. American businesses have a tremendous opportunity to play an outsized role to help rebuild Ukraine. And we have to not just commit ourselves, but commit ourselves to rebuilding a Ukrainian economy better than before, more open, more innovative, more inclusive, European and American focused, tech-based. We could do this. It can be more entrepreneurial. And American businesses with operations in Europe can play a very important role right now, hiring Ukrainian refugees. Millions of them, mostly women with children who need a job to take care of their families. If you're an American business with operations in Europe, consider hiring them and supporting them. And by the way, when the war is over, consider sending them back to Ukraine to work in your operation in Ukraine. I'm so pleased that our Ukrainian partners are here today because we need your leadership. And as I said, we're all amazed by your leadership. We need your commitment to strengthen governance and accountability in Ukraine and to create conditions for greater investment. And that means creating a level playing field for businesses of all sizes. That means a level playing field, free from corruption, free from corrupt actors, transparent, well-functioning, and a truly independent judicial system. That will be essential in order to unlock American capital and American business. American, European, and other governments and businesses can offer advice, financial help, philanthropic help, and support. But it's up to you, the leaders of Ukraine, in rebuilding your country to make those commitments. And President Zelensky, in this regard, has set an incredibly strong example by sending messages that instances of corruption, even one, will be found and swiftly rooted out. So I'll end where I began following my president. President Biden says we'll stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes, and we will. Having said that, we want as long as it takes to be as short as possible. Right? We want to end this unjust war, and we want to get to the business of rebuilding Ukraine and to show that your democracy will thrive, that good will prevail over evil, and then out the other side of this will be a more vibrant, thriving economy connected to the United States. And we will be there with you, the public sector, the private sector, philanthropy, to get you through the war and to rebuild your economy on the other end. So thank you for having me. I'm committed to this cause, and thank you for allowing me to say a few words. Have a great session.